Thank you. Mr. Speaker, when Congress passed the Patriot Act in 2001 in the aftermath of 9/11, we mandated sunsets on the provisions that dramatically expanded federal investigative and enforcement powers, especially those that could infringe on the freedom of American citizens. Sunsets meant that Congress would have to specifically extend the time on those powers or they would expire. 5 years ago, the last time around, the Bush administration attempted to make permanent these crisis-related expansions of authority by removing the sunsets. Now, let me congratulate my friend from California who spent so much time trying to make sure the sunsets were in. And Dan, we know that you worked really hard to make sure those sunsets were put in, but not all of them were. This power grab on the part of the Bush administration was thwarted by good members like Dan Lundgren, who are with us today in this debate. Today, a few controversial sections still are scheduled to periodically sunset. The congressional action to extend these provisions deserves hearings, adequate debate, the right to amend, and thus ensuring accountability and transparency on such a significant issue. We have not met this standard this time around. The Republican leadership has committed to a more acceptable process by December when the extension of this bill comes up for a vote again. I hope I will be able to vote yes at that time. Until then, it is no. And let us note about the accusations of politics in this. I believe the American people have a legitimate fear of out-of-control government. They have a legitimate fear of out-of-control spending and out-of-control bureaucracy. And yes, they have a legitimate fear of out-of-control prosecutors and out-of-control spy networks. Let's make sure we stand for freedom here. That's not political.
Gentleman's time has expired. The gentleman from Texas is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield 1 minute to the gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Simpson.
Gentleman from Wisconsin is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr.